Hi everyone, Sam here from the Paper Cut. It's Tuesday. You're used to not seeing me on today, but we are trying to redo our snowman, let it snow, crafters classroom, craft along when our video was screwed up. I'm going to check to see if I have sound. Yes, I do. Yay. Now we're going to go down to the table and we're going to see if everything is turned right. Okay, overhead. Overhead. So, um, I'm here streaming, but my mom has to leave. So I'm not going to be able to, I can see comments on Facebook, but I won't be able to see them on YouTube. So, anyways, I'm just going to plug along. If you have questions, answer them. You probably won't be typing in responses. So, because my mom's going to get nuts. Your lessons. Thank you. Bye. Bye now. Love you. All right, so let's get going. Our three cards for Tractor's Classroom are um, Peekaboo Shadow Card, and we have an easel card that stands up like that. And then we have our A2 horizontal step. So those are the three cards we're going to be doing. I'm probably going to buzz through these a little bit faster than I normally would, but you can always start and stop me um, on replay. So if you are missing a piece, don't comment here. Send me an email, info@thepapercut.com, um, and I will get you pieces that you're missing. So, anyways, we are going to start with our Peekaboo Shutter card, which is that. So the Peekaboo Shutter card actually uses um, shutter card. I'm going to pull out just my demo pieces first. So it uses a shutter card and an overlay, and then two of these inserts. Now I have three out here, and I just have that because I'm just demoing right now. So the shutter card is scored. So this is a little, we do sell the shutter cards separately, and then there is also a die set to cut the circle insert into the Peekaboo Shutter card, and these like shutter inserts. I don't know what they're actually called, but these are our scores. I'm just drawing where our scores are. So in the kit, you've got the shutter card, the circle insert, and these two like shutter inserts. Or, like if you want to make your own, you can buy the shutter card, and then there's those, these two pieces. So those are the components of the Peekaboo Shutter card kit, and we are going to go ahead and get started. Now, the bumps are always the inside, so we're going to start on the front, and I have no idea what I did on Saturday, but let's just start on the front, and we're going to attach the two blue pieces, and then we are going to attach the two crystal diamond pieces, and these will attach to one side. I'm going to try to work on the other. Let's go ahead and just get these attached. And I know a lot of people probably already did this already. Oh, my phone's ringing and I'm not going to answer it. It's okay. So if you're watching and calling, hang up. Call me back in about an hour. Otherwise, half the phone calls I get, more than half that I get, are just telemarketers anyways. So if you're somebody important, sorry, we're not answering because finally redoing this video. Sound wasn't great, and you guys all put up with it on Saturday. And a lot of you said it was fine, you can do it, but I want it to be better than it was in case people are watching the replay. So, okay, watching that piece. And I see a few names on here that I recognize. Hi, Linda. Hi, Nancy. I think you guys were on Saturday with me. So this is the better version. And I needed to really get my camera and audio working so I could do Tuesday nights. On Thursday night, we have a fun time Tuesday. We're just attaching. Now, sometimes it's easier to see if you actually fold it. The downside to that is then you're fighting that fold. So I'm going to open it up and I'm just going to put it on while my card is open because I don't like to fight my fold. And because we don't have anything on here, you saw me just kind of spin that around to attach it. Okay, so that's the front. So that's those white panels. So now we're actually going to flip that over, and I might bring my demo piece in here, because then I can demo using the demo piece. And this one's cream, so it might be a little bit easier to see. So now we're working on the bump side of the card. So that's our shutter card. And well, first of all, on this piece, we're going to go ahead and attach a blue inside piece. This, no, it doesn't have to be, you can flex that white. This is just for the design aspect of it. We're going to attach the blue layer to the inside. So that's our inside. Okay, now let's talk about our shutter inserts that we're going to attach. Oh, somebody's calling back. They must really want to talk to me. Um, so this piece I did cut with the die, and yours is cut opposite, so your darker end is up here. This is one that was cut wrong, and that's what I'm using for class, and it just doesn't matter. But yours will have the dark side up here, the lighter side down at the bottom. So that was cut with the die. These two are included in the kit. So we're going to first start with this one in my cream, and we have our tape tabs. These are our tape tabs at the top and the bottom. Now, if you're die cutting it with the die, you want it as we fold. You kind of have to fold those a little bit more gently because the dies, when you do the little, metal dies that you buy, the score isn't as deep as it is with our bigger ones. Even like when you're doing this, you'll notice that these two scores don't feel as easy as these two. These were put on our big press, that these were put on the little die cutting machines. So we're gonna put tape on top of our tape tab and attach the flush with the top edge. So you'll put tape on your tape tab and attach it flush with the top edge. Now I'm gonna be doing my um, demo one, and I'll also be doing the actual one. So kind of center it left to right and attach that flush to the top edge. And attach it, center it as best as you can. And then we'll fold that up. So let me go ahead and do my demo one, my actual one. And again, attach that flush to this top edge and centered left to right. Approximately, as centered as you can possibly get it. Okay, so now we have the real one plus we have our demo one. We're going to fold that up. We've got our two shutter inserts, and these are the pieces that separate. So, hey, Brian, I thought I brought his leash and his collar. Well, maybe I didn't. Sorry. He was gonna take the dog in. So, anyways, tape goes on top of our tape tabs. Hang on one second. Just make it go so. Okay. Okay, with that Dodge, yeah, it's kind of weird. He likes me to walk him to the door, and then like Brian will come if I'm busy, and I am now, so we can get him to the door. So, anyways, these are our little shuttle pieces that attach, and we line up um, the edge. So the tape tab is up. Line up the edge with the score. Don't go over it, and approximately about a 1/4 inch down. What you can do for placement on that is you can take a pen or a pencil and you just trace the inside of that circle because then when you put your shadow piece there, you can kind of just eyeball it and see. It kind of looks like a Pac-Man. You can just kind of eyeball it and see where that goes. So we're going to put tape on top of our tape tab, and then, make sure that's straight. This edge is flush with our score. This is approximately centered, and that like is about a 1/4 inch from the top. Then we're going to fold our flap in, fold it back and see the little sheer piece moves, and then we fold in that screw. And then we're going to basically do the same thing. This one's going to line up with that one. These two are going to be flush. Put tape on our tab, fold that in. Let's go ahead and do that with a real one. So again, you can take a pen or a pencil, and it gets covered up, so it doesn't really matter. You can just trace that circle, open it up, take our shooters, and we're lining the edge of it up with that score, making sure that it's not over it and that we can fold that in. This is about so. So it is about a 1/4 inch from the top. I'm going to put tape on our tab, and then we're going to fold that in. And again, you're going to fold it over. Remember, it moves with it, and then we fold back on the score. And we're going to do the same thing with the other one. We're gonna line up, our shoes so they're even top and bottom, line up the edge of it at the score, and we have our tape tab. Remember, it's not folded this time. We're just lining it up with that score, flush to the top and bottom, folding our card panel in. Remember that folds back, but then we fold back. And then we have our shutters. So now you could stamp through here, but um, we can't do that because you don't have the stamps. So in the kit, and I've got my pieces. There we go. Somebody really wants to talk to me. It's probably a telemarketer. Anyways, there was one piece in there that was already cut to size. Or if you want snowy winter wishes, you could, chop that off. So you have a word thing that has, this word is used, this word is used, but then you have some extra words. So we are going to take this piece, put tape on it, and attach it in that window so you can see it through your panels. So let's put tape on it. We dodge. Yeah, the dog came back in now. So, anyways, that depending on your length, some of them are slightly different. Just because I had this when I was cutting them. Mine goes to about 1/8 of an inch here, but before you put adhesive on it, you can look at it and see, where yours falls. Then you can do one on the top, you know, this one on the top and that one on the bottom, this one on the top, that one on the bottom, or it doesn't really matter. And then we are going to put tape on the end right here. We're going to fold that in and it should be flush with the bottom of it. All right, so fold that in, push with the bottom of the card, and then we have to glue glue on some of the other pieces in here. Are our two circles. We pop those up with foam tape, and then our snowman is popped up with foam tape on there also. And you don't have to pop it if you don't want to. Okay, on my snowman. And I might wait to put my snowman on because if I do this guy on here, I'm gonna put tape on half of him. Um, and then I can place my snowman there. But if I put tape on the whole thing, I'm gonna take my card sheet. So I just want to put tape on. So tape on half, and I have it about an inch from that top. If I have any tape hanging out, I can go ahead and just make sure that that's rolled in, although I'm going to show you a way to cover some of that tape up. Yep, still not answering. Usually my phone doesn't ring this much. So it is probably somebody that really wants to talk to me. All right. So now we have our words, and I did use Frosty Fun, and then we have our mirror card. So I'm going to bring my little trimmer over here. And I did cut two really thin pieces of green mirror card, one for right there and one for right there. They're about a quarter of an inch. So you do them, you can do half inch because I think I gave you a 1 inch piece. So you can do whatever you want to do for thickness of this. All right. Then for our words, I'm going to put Frosty Fun, so that's going to go on the front. And I am just going to snip that off. All right. And then I did use the Some People Are Worth Melting For um, on the inside. But I'm going to cut a couple of the words for the inside and show you what you can do. Oops. If you have circle dies or punches, you could use those because you could take and cut or do circle punches for right here. Or I'm just going to cut squares because I don't have any circle punches handy right now. I mean, I do have them, obviously, but I just don't have any handy. Just cutting my words, and I'm just putting them fairly close to the edges. All right, now for paper. So I'm going to attach these onto here. I like to trim after I attach them, so because then I can just kind of see my border. So I'm just going to attach these, and I'm keeping my trimmer out here because I'm gonna trim after I attach. Now, you could trim before you attach, but I'm just gonna trim after. Um, Now, for sticking wise onto the glitter paper, the best thing to stick onto the glitter paper is usually foam tape or glue. Like this ATG tape works great for everything else, but on this kind of rougher glitter paper, it doesn't stick as well. For time's sake, I'm just using this. If I was doing this, um, I might get my wet glue out and actually do it on a glue. No, it's not going to come off unless somebody takes the fingernail and shoves it under there and tries to. Yes. So that's why I'm not really worried about it at this point. So we can one word, frosty fun. Now, if you are, see, I don't see any comments on here, which is fine. But if you were trying to call and you need something and it's an emergency, comment because I'm not answering the phone. Like if you want to tell me that my audio went wacko again, go ahead and type it in there. Okay. So I have my green mirror card, and my three words and a bunch of scraps. All right. So we did have our green mirror card, and we're attaching that and then trimming it. I'm just going to put adhesive on both of them. They're not equal. No, that's okay. This one I'm just going to attach on the inside, and then I'm going to trim it off just to match my border or match my layer. Then I'm gonna put my some people are worth melting for. And I might not put well, I am gonna layer because that's just what I do. I like to layer. Hang on a second, I have to grab myself some more foam tape. I'm just gonna attach that piece right there. Now, what I was saying was you can take and you can attach something on the inside right here. Now, this would be a perfect time to, um, if you have circle punches, to you could have put that out as a circle and layer it on, a green milkwood circle, and then it kind of would have coordinated for in here. And then you also have another word, snowy winter wishes. So if you want to attach that somewhere else in here, you could certainly do that. So I'm just going to take some tape. I kind of covers up a little bit of your thing. Now, if you did circles on there, it would cover up even more. And then we have our green mirror card strip that we're going to attach about half an inch from the bottom. And I am just going to be a go for it kind of gal and snip this off and hope I get it straight. Yep, I did it pretty straight. And then I'm going to line this up even across. And again, I'm going to hope that it'll be totally straight. Give it a little snip. There we go. And then I'm going to attach my frosty fun. So that we've got that card done. That is our peekaboo card. Then let's go on to this one. Hang on, I gotta find my pieces because I did have them all in here. And mine aren't in the kit. It's probably so I don't have envelopes with mine, but in here, this is an easel card. So we have our, it's an easel card is actually a steno card, which the steno card folds like that. So it's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. But then this one has an extra score in there because this penny is scored right in the middle. And it kind of stands up like that. So we have our easel card, which is our 4 1/4 by 11. And then we have the extra score right here. So we're going to start with that. Let's look at our pieces. We have our words. We have our 2 word layers. We have this layer for the inside. We have our little baggie that has our snowman, our snowballs. Um, then we have our piece of crystal diamond print. And we have these 2 sets of layers. One goes on the bottom above below the score, one goes above the score, and likewise with green. So let's go ahead and attach those together. I'm not very good at listening to my messages, so the phone rang on video and I wasn't able to answer it. I'm gonna have to listen to my messages and find out if it's really somebody that needs me or it's just a telemarketer. All right. Some days I don't even know why I have a phone in the shop because it's all telemarketer people. Okay. But other days, then I get to talk to some of you. We're going to attach those above and below the score. And I might be doing this in a slightly different order than I did on Saturday, just because sometimes I do order of operations, and sometimes it just doesn't matter. Like, for example, attaching the outside versus the inside. It doesn't matter. Like on Saturday, I think I took this piece first and attached it to the inside just to get it on the wheel. So we're gonna do that. Just to get pieces out of the way. Sometimes I'll attach some of my bigger layers first. I can just get taped down because then I don't lose anything on my workspace. So this one is attached to the inside. The bump, remember, or the bump part of the car is the inside, and we're attaching it with about an equal border, so about an 1/8 inch border all the way around. Okay, and we have our bigger layers in the front. Then we are going to tear our crystal diamond print. Now, I do when I tear, I don't like to just willy-nilly start on one end and pull. I like to actually follow, with my hand that's not tearing down front and back. So front and back. And the front one is what I use to tear with. And so I can be pretty diligent here if I want to make some snow hills. Because see, I'm following my front hand with, or my right hand with my left hand. And then I can make some hills if I want to. Or if you just kind of start on one end and pull, who knows where it goes. So, and I'm just going to attach that to the front. Great. Then what do we want to do next? Well, let's get our words. So on our words, we can put winter wishes or Merry Christmas. I liked the winter wishes just because you can get tighter to the bottom, where this one to do the Y, it ends up being a little bit wider. Um, And I did this word on my main sample. In my Saturday sample, I did the let it snow. This word could be for the inside, or you can put it on the front, up to you. So let's put our two words on. Then we're backing the front word with the line and the inside word with the red. Now this is wide enough that you'll back one of your words, plus you'll also put a strip from the paint. So let's get our trimmer out here and get some color. So first I'm going to cut my strip for the front, which I think is about a half an inch. I think this is about 2 inches. So we'll cut a half an inch strip. That's for the front. And we're going to cut our words. We're going to cut them above and below. And then again, I like to, now mine goes all the way across. If you want to snip your ends a little bit, so you have a border all the way around, you certainly can do that. Or like I said, I like to attach my, oops, that's dangerous. Attach this, and then I'm going to trim the other side. So I attached it, with a border right there, and then I can turn around and I can trim the other side. Now, is it going to be perfect? Probably not. But if it were perfect, it would be homework. So, and if I wasn't totally right on, I don't want it to be perfect. I really don't care though. I could snip this end off. There we go. Again, I shouldn't leave my trimmer open. I am going to cut out the let it snow. And let it snow again. So I'm just cutting my let it snow. Sometimes I decide that I want it a little bit closer to my word. And sometimes I cut it too close to my words. It just is what it is. And then I can layer that on my line. And then I can cut my other two sides. Now, if you're not sure about cutting it after it's attached, by all means, you can measure it, or you can kind of hold it in place and cut it, or you can use removable tape and cut it. And then you always have a little bit more wiggle room. Okay, so this one, let's go ahead and I'm going to attach my red strip, and that's about an inch from the top. So just about an inch from the top. And then I can attach my let it snow, and I did kind of an equal border on both sides on my left and right. Then I'm going to put foam tape on my inside word. See how that's what blocks this easel from sliding, is this is popped up with foam tape, and that kind of blocks it from sliding. So you want to make sure to put foam tape for sure. I mean, I put foam tape on a lot of stuff to begin with, but for sure in the easel card, the thing that's going to prop it up, it has to be foam taped. So Patty's watching, and I know she was on this morning when I was testing before. So I'm wondering, Patty, if and Wendy's on too. Wendy's husband's the one that helped me. So I'm wondering how I sound. Does the sound clear? Does it sound tinny? Does it sound mechanical? Does it sound echoey? Um, from the little bit I heard, I think it sounds pretty good. Okay, so now this can go down closer to the bottom, and then we have less of an angle right here, or it can be up closer to the top or right smack dab in the middle. Whatever you want to do, depending on how much you want it to actually stand up. Okay, and we'll put this guy on there. And again, I do a little bit equal, if you want to get them up in the corner, just try to do an equal border on both sides. And it doesn't matter if that border is a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. Oops. Okay, we're gonna pull our snowman out here. Be careful because there's a clear circle in there. And then there's these four little snowballs that have snowflakes on them. And I'm gonna actually lay them upside down because I'm gonna put glue on them. All right. So now this clear is just to attach our snowballs on. So first I need to attach my snowman to our clear cover circle. And I can see that from about his arms up is where I can attach it. Now I am going to put glue on them. I do have my precision glue press that I forgot to put the lid on since Saturday, so we'll see if I can use it. Oh, yep, my glue is still coming out. Okay, so from about his arms up is where my circle's attached, and I'm going to attach him to the back just so I can see where I'm placing it. Okay, so there, I've got my circle. Now my snowballs, I'm going to do the same thing with. Except I'm going to attach just a little bit, see how just the stem, hold it up. So I'm going to put just a little dab of of glue on each of my snowballs, just kind of on one edge, because I kind of had my snowballs hanging off of my circle. Not too much. And I'm just going to try to equally, place them. So it kind of looks like he's juggling those snowflakes. Now I'm going to attach him to the front of the card, and I am going to pop him up. Mm. See, depending on your placement, you only want to put foam tape or tape. Um, is the glue less expensive than the tape? I believe so. I've been using this, but I don't even know how much the Nuvo glue is because I just got the glue press, and I got this during the summer. Actually, when did I get this? Um, March, I think, or April, and I've been working on the same thing of glue for a few months, and I'm not sure how much those bottles of glue are. Yeah. Glue might be a little bit less expensive. And I was not a big glue girl until I got the precision glue press, and it is pretty slick. And now for little things like that made it super easy, just doing a little dab of glue right there versus trying to put a button or adhesive tape on them. So now I only put foam tape, from about where his arms went up down, and I'm attaching him on now. See, I don't want to put tape up here behind his hat because otherwise it's going to tape it shut. Think everything has its little use. Like, I like glue for some things. I do like my tape runner for a lot of things. I'm pretty good with my ATG gun, so I probably use it on much smaller things than some people use it on. But just because I'm pretty good at using it after 20 years, and I have my dots. So there is our easel card. So that's card number 2. Then we are going to go to our snow step, which I think I still have dies in here because I was going to show on Saturday how to use those step card dies, but because the sign was all messed up and I just wanted to get rid, I didn't do that. So this is our horizontal center step card. Now this is what our center step card looks like, and it looks the same for the vertical versus the horizontal. So this is the vertical. It makes the card narrower and taller. And then I'm going to do that. And then these with the points on them are inner and outer stair step, which the inner stair step card is this. So the folds are different. So you can see on our center step ones, you have one big step on the front, and then you have these two little steps that go off to the sides. With the inner and outer, these have like one big part, and I'll do the outer one, and then the three steps going either at the center or at the side. So let's show you those. Um, with the inner and outer, and I'll get to this one in just a minute. But with the inner and outer, you start with an A2 score. And you can make a line, you can make sort of it half by 11 and half and use your score pal and score it. And then with the inner, there's these points on here, and they are pretty pointy. Those you just line up with that score, and then you put it down with adhesive, and then you can just run it through your machine. Now, what's nice about die is that you can place it anywhere. You line it up with the square. So if you want a smaller, so say you want a smaller side on one side and a wider over here, the steps are always going to stay the same. But you don't have to place that right in the center. You can place it off to one side. But since I do have center one here, an inner, let's do the outer one. And the outer one works the same. Except the other one has a cut on one side and not a cut on the other. It has your 2 points, so again, you're gonna line it up with your score, and our 2 points, line up with the score, but then you do have to push one side off. See, this side does not have the slit on it, so you kind of take that and you push that off to the side, you make your die flush with the side of your paper, and one point is lined up with your square. So I'm going to take a piece of removable tape, and I'm usually a go for it kind of game, but when I'm doing, things that need to line up with something, I do hold it in place with removable tape. So I'm just going to I'm just going to run this through this thing. And I'll be right back, and I'm still here with you. I just wanted to show you how to use our step coordinates. So then we pull that off, and I did go back and forth, so um, I can tell that it did move a little bit because I didn't have enough tape on there. But anyways, you fold in half, and then either starting at the back edge or the front edge, it's a mountain fold. Then we have our valley fold. Then we have our mountain fold. Then we have our valley fold. And then we have our mountain fold in front. Mine is going to be a little wonky because it did move. So there we have our outer step versus our inner. So we have the same steps. We either have our outer where we have our spot on the outside or our inner where we have our two big steps on the outside. So inner and outer. or with the guys that have the points in them. I'm still online. I'm still talking. So, anyways, then we have our center side dies, which are the horizontal. This is the horizontal, and this is the vertical. With the horizontal, you'll use a piece of cardstock unscored, so not with the square in it. It's 5.5 by 8.5. With the center one, that vertical one, we start out with a 4.5 by 11. So I'm going to show you the one because that's the die I have here. I'm the other die is kind of missing in action. And these instructions tell you to measure 15/16 up from the bottom and then line your die up after you measure. I don't like to measure. I mean, you do measure, but I don't like to like repeat measure with a ruler. So I cut a template that's my 15/16 of an inch. Lay that down. Then I take my die. This one has a bigger piece of removable tape. I lined that up with my edge of my template. Make sure it's centered left to right. Then I'm going to place that on there. I can take my template. I have a whole little thing of templates. Um, Now you can keep a template with your die, or you just keep a bag of templates. So it's up to you. But then I'm going to run that through my machine. Okay, then I can take my die off of her. Okay, now this one folds exactly like this one, except it's vertical instead of horizontal. When I fold, I like to flip it around, which I just did, and I fold the outsides first, which are two mountain folds. And I go to the inside and I fold a mountain. And then I walk my hands down and I fold one side as a valley and a mountain, the other side as a valley and a mountain. So the center step. So basically the same code, just one's horizontal and one's vertical. So on the die, like I said, looks exactly the same as this, except it's shorter and wider to make this one. So let's go on to our card now. We'll finish that up. All right. Now let's go through the folding again. So again, I like to turn it around. I like to, and our scores are much more pronounced on our one that we did on our bigger machines. So I'm going to fold these two as mountains. Now remember, never fold anything all the way in half. Like if you need two scored cards, you can fold it all the way in half. And it's fine. I don't want to do that with the step cards, that none of these scores go all the way across. So I work on the outside, fold these two, then I walk my hands to the inside and fold because these are all mountain folds. Mountain, mountain, mountain. Then down one side, I can walk and we have a mountain valley and a mountain valley. And then we can just give it a squish. Or you can use a bone folder if you want. I'm not big on bone folders. I just like to use my fingers. And there we have an A2 horizontal. So, all right, now let's go to our pieces. We have your snowflakes, but you can see them more from the back. So this is the heavier glitter paper, and this actually does die cut better than the lighter glitter paper. Um, so the Miri Sparkle is the lighter weight glitter paper, and it doesn't die cut as well as this thicker. I think it just gives more for the dye to go through, and it just die cuts better. Why, you ask? I don't know. It does die cut better the thicker it is. So I already have mine because on Saturday I did punch them out. I didn't attach them. So I'm gonna put those aside. So now we have couple pieces. We have these two pieces that we're going to attach together. Now, this is part of our Winter Wonderland paper pad, which we have some new paper pads that just came out. Mm. They're not here yet. They should be here next week. At least it's new or them. So we're first going to attach this on there. I don't know if it matters which side is up and which side is down. Then that's going to attach onto our center step. All right, then we are going to attach the two little Miris or crystal diamond print onto our two outer steps. So those two pieces we can put adhesive on. Now we did sell out of this kit, so it's not online anymore, which is a good thing. I mean, it's bad for you, but I mean, we always like to sell out the kits. So that means you all liked it. So I did open up my card to attach these two pieces. If you're after the fact and you're like, oh, I really would have wanted that kit, we do have an auto ship program, so then you won't miss out on any of them. Um, on a class, or it might be on our event schedule page where there's a link to our auto ship form. And I do two classes a month. I always do Crafters Classroom, which is the second Saturday, and then I do a Fun Time Thursday, which is always the Thursday after that. At the end of this class, I'll show you what we're going to be doing on Thursday. So now this attaches with a border. Sometimes I'll like lay the piece down so I can actually see what my border is going to be. And this one has a very thin border in one end, so I'm going to trim off it. Just a little, and I didn't trim very great, but that's okay. No, I probably didn't need to trim it, but whatever. Okay. Now that attaches to this bottom step in the front. Attach that to the bottom step. Now we're going to attach our snowman. I did use foam tape to pop him up. And then the presents. So the presents are kind of sitting in his hands, and I used foam tape to pop them up too. So, and then I did use foam tape on my Merry and Bright. Now only put tape on half of your Merry and Bright because if it's sticking off to the side, you don't want exposed adhesive. So I'm just going to sit here with my foam tape and get some foam tape attached. And then again, I'll use my glue for my snowflakes. And if you're watching this on here, I will get this posted to Crafter's Classroom sometime today after it finishes uploading. Now, when you're foam taping your snowman too, like don't put foam tape on the end of his tail for your stove because that will be hanging off. Any place that's hanging off, don't put foam tape. All right. So I'm glad I finally got, or at least I think my audio is totally fixed. Which is a yay. It was frustrating for a little while in there. Okay, so we are going to attach our snowman. But my other computer, before I got the new computer, it was not a totally dead computer issue. It was actually a pretty simple fix. So I'm getting that one back and I'm going to set that one up here so I don't have to worry about moving computers back and forth. And then, yeah, sometimes when I run into problems with the sound of the video or whatever. So now I'll have one designated computer here until it dies. Probably should have picked my presents out first before my games. I think I'm gonna do that. Actually, I think I have him a little bit further over than I did on my original. That works. Okay, and now I'm just gonna do a little bit of glue on the back of my snowflakes. Now these are something that you could add a little bit of, where you could add a gem or a pearl in the middle of them if you wanted to bling them up a little bit. There we go. That was the Crafters Classroom class. That was on Saturday. Let's bring our samples down here again. So thanks for joining me for a second time, or a first time if you didn't see me on Saturday, or thanks for joining me. And we will see you. Oh, let's go really quick to what we're going to be doing on Fun Time Thursday, this Thursday. Hang on a second. So this Thursday, we are doing gift holders. So we have this joyful code with this little gift code holder right here. In this class, you actually got the die to cut them. So here's an autumn one, so thank you. That's a diagonal cut. And again, our gift card holder is right here. And then birthday, just a standard A2 card with one of our new printed paper pads. And we'll get in the different style of gift card holder on the inside. So that's on Thursday. If you want to join me on Thursday, that's what we'll be making. Otherwise, thanks for joining me in Crafter's Classroom, and we'll see you next month. Bye, guys.